So let's talk about a crisis that is absolutely shaking one of the world's biggest industries to its core. We're talking about the titans of the 20th century car world, Germany and Japan, and they are on the ropes. But this isn't just about a dip in sales. Oh no, this is a fundamental shift from what we thought made a car great, mechanical perfection, to something entirely new, software. And it all starts in a pretty unexpected place.
Okay, let's start with a little mystery. Take a walk through the streets of Kyoto, in one of the most technologically advanced nations on Earth, and you'll notice something odd. There are almost no electric cars. Now, this isn't just some local quirk. It's a huge flashing warning sign of a massive global disruption that's already happening.
So here's the first piece of our puzzle. Why on earth would a country famous for its mind-blowing innovation look like it's a decade behind in the EV revolution? Well, the answer to that question reveals the deep, deep challenges facing the entire legacy auto industry. All right, let's break this down. It really boils down to four key things that are putting up a huge wall against change. First up, infrastructure. You've got these ancient cities with super narrow streets, which makes putting in a home charger a total nightmare. Then you've got the hybrid car, which everyone sees as this perfected, totally worry-free technology. On top of that, the big automakers themselves, they bet the farm on hybrids and just drag their feet on going all in on EVs. And finally, you have the culture. A place like Kyoto is steeped in tradition. It's just naturally slow to jump on board with radical new tech. And this quote, man, it just nails the psychological trap they're in. For decades, people in Japan have been driving cars like the Toyota Prius, and they've been incredibly reliable and efficient. The hybrid isn't just seen as a stepping stone to something else. For many, it's the final destination. Their greatest success has become this beautiful golden cage.
But hold on, because this isn't just a Japan story. Not at all. There is a parallel crisis unfolding in Germany, the other great titan of 20th century car making. The very ground is shifting under both of their feet, and it's happening fast.
Okay, before we go any further, we have to get this term down. Legacy OEM. This is what we call the classic car companies, your Toyota, your Volkswagen, your Mercedes-Benz. Their entire identity, all their pride, and frankly, all their profits are built around one thing, perfecting the internal combustion engine and all that incredibly complex machinery. This hardware-first way of thinking is at the absolute heart of the crisis they're in today. So you've got these two giants, right? Both in deep trouble, but for pretty different reasons. Germany is getting hit by a perfect storm. The loss of cheap Russian energy just destroyed their manufacturing costs, and money that should be going to innovation is now getting funneled into defense. But the killer? They have catastrophically failed at making good software. Japan, on the other hand, is kind of a victim of its own success with hybrids. They're stuck with a rigid industry structure and have basically become what some people call a Galapagos island. Perfectly evolved for their own little world, but incredibly vulnerable to anything new from the outside. And this is where we get to the real revolution. The threat isn't just about a new kind of engine. It's about a complete rewrite of what a car is. The battlefield has moved from under the hood to the dashboard screen. This slide here, this is everything. It's what we're calling the Great Value Shift. For 100 years, the goal was simple. Make a better drive, a smoother ride, a quieter engine, better mileage. The value was all in the hardware. But the new goal? It's about a better life. The value is now in the software that can take your 2-hour daily commute, that dead time, and turn it into productive work time, or maybe just relaxing movie time. It's about reclaiming your life, not just getting from A to B. And this new value? It's being delivered by a 3-wave invasion. Wave 1, Tesla. They turned the car into a software product first and foremost, with full self-driving as the killer app. Then comes Wave 2, robotaxi fleets from companies like Waymo. They threatened the very idea of even owning a car. And finally, the third wave, the absolute flood of Chinese smart EVs from brands like BYD and Xiaomi. These things are basically smartphones on wheels, where the digital experience inside the car is the main event. And, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? The thrill of a new car isn't about the quiet hum of a perfectly engineered engine anymore. It's about the freedom you get when the car takes over the driving. It stops being a tool for getting around and becomes a space for living. You're not just buying a car, you're literally buying back time. So, with the old giants like Germany and Japan completely stumbling, you'd think this is a golden opportunity for some other players to jump in, right? And it is. But it is also an incredibly dangerous time to make a move. Let's just take a company like Hyundai/Kia. On the one hand, they make fantastic cars, some of the best hardware out there. And with their main competitors in total crisis, the market is wide open for them. But look at the other side. They have the same old-school manufacturing mindset. They don't really have that software and self-driving DNA deep in their bones. And they're staring down the barrel of low-cost Chinese competition and a world that's getting more protectionist by the day. They are truly, truly caught in the middle.
And this right here is the single biggest fear for every single legacy car company out there. It's their nightmare scenario. It's becoming the Foxconn of the car world, doing all the hard, dirty, low-margin work of actually building the physical car, while some tech company swoops in, provides the software, owns all the valuable data, and walks away with almost all of the profit.
Which really brings us to a pretty stark, almost chilling conclusion. For entire countries like Germany, Japan, and even Korea, their whole economic model for the last century was built on one thing: being the absolute best at making physical stuff. But in this new world we're entering, that's just not enough anymore. The real value has floated away into the invisible world of software and data.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you go to buy a car, are you going to be asking yourself if it's a Toyota or a Ford? Or are you going to be asking if it runs on the Waymo OS or Tesla FSD? Because the answer to that question is going to decide the fate of entire industries and even whole nations.